After the annual Worldwide Developers Conference held by Apple on Monday, 6th of June, the company seems to gain some points with the investors. But will it contribute to mid or even long-term stock price growth? Let's take a look at what is happening to Apple, what the company promises and what could be the result. Since the beginning of 2022, Apple shares are down more than 20% despite the last quarterly report, which showed that both revenue and EPS have grown in year-to-year comparison, beating the Wall Street estimates. Naturally, there are still the ongoing supply chain issues and semiconductor shortage that affect all technology businesses. At the same time, Apple was the only major original equipment manufacturer in Q1 2022 to have increased shipments in year-on-year comparison. Yet, the stock doesn't beat its all-time highs as it should following such prominent results. Those who invested in Apple because it is a stable big tech stock, are now disappointed and may be thinking about selling their shares. Should they though? Worldwide Developers Conference 2022. 6th of June was an exciting day for all Apple users. The company announced many updates coming to its products and services in the near future. Among them, new versions of operating systems for all Apple's devices featuring updated customization options and highly requested features. New M2 chips for Apple computers MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, which should significantly improve their performance. A proprietary pay later credit service that we will take a closer look later in the video. These new features and updates may give all Apple's devices a boost in sales, which will affect the overall company's results. Apart from the software, hardware upgrades can even improve Apple's position against its closest competitors such as Lenovo, Dell and HP. Apple Pay Later feature. One of the highlights of the conference was the announcement of Apple's proprietary credit service for App Store purchases called Apple Pay Later. The company's subsidiary will oversee its functioning, from credit checks to making decisions on loans. This service will let customers split up the cost of any Apple Pay transaction over 4 installments across 6 weeks. Usually, the companies which offer similar services rely on a third-party provider, while Apple will be one of the first to assure such operations on its own. Also, the company mentioned that it is working on its proprietary payment processing engine. Apple's entry into this market may be seen as a threat to such companies as Affirm and Klarna. But the Cupertino-based tech giant's goal is not to compete with the current providers but to tie its customers even more to the company's products and services. Apple Pay Later will be launched only for US users at first and then may be extended for other regions. The future of Apple shares. New product announcements are promising, but investors seek the hard numbers to make informed decisions. What they can now rely on is that apart from being a leader in the smartphone segment, Apple puts a lot of emphasis on its service offering. The company's services revenues grew more than 17% to $19.82 billion in the second quarter of 2022. With the new features and products, these numbers have a big chance to keep increasing. Also, the company has recently increased its dividend payouts and Apple's board of directors approved $90 billion in stock buybacks for 2022, which is more than in 2021. Nevertheless, investors shouldn't forget that macroeconomic factors are the force to be reckoned with, and even Apple can't escape their influence. A probable recession in the US economy can weaken the demand for new Apple's products. Continued materials shortages and supply chain disruptions can affect the arrival of new products to the market, and the conflict in Russia and Ukraine cuts a part of the market for the company. Will Apple overcome these challenges and change the trend for the better? We will continue to keep an eye on the situation. As of the morning of Friday 17th of June, the nearest support level for Apple shares is $123, and the resistance level is $150. What do you think about Apple's stock future? Please leave your opinion in the comments. See you next time with more market analysis.